gonna look for me and I'll be gone. I believe. I believe.
Back when I was playing sports, this is a couple years ago now, but one of the main things that stopped me from continuing on with my career and dropping out my sophomore year of college was not only the shoulder surgeries, which is what I tell everybody, but it was the fact that I did not believe in myself to be able to achieve the things that I wanted to achieve at that level. And so I blamed it on the injuries. I lied. I played timid to make me get more injuries until eventually my body and my mind could not take it anymore. And that has stuck with me for a really long time. And it wasn't until recently that I decided that that no longer was going to rule my life. That fear, that little voice that just told me I wasn't good enough, the one that just like stopped me from giving my all, because if I gave my all and I wasn't good enough, I wasn't worthy of love, or whatever the hell I used to tell myself. It wasn't till recently that I told myself that I no longer need to listen to that voice. Sorry, this thing is getting shaky. I just got back from a run and I really wanted to record this because it was on top of my head. But as soon as you stop listening to that voice and you push yourself and you tell yourself, I'm going to commit to being the best version of myself in that moment so that I can get to the version of me that I want to be, you become so much more powerful than you think you are. This morning, I woke up, both legs shot, felt like I had shin splints, didn't sleep well last night because I'm back in Arizona, and I had to help my mom move a bunch of things and all these different things. And my legs were hurting so bad the day before and this morning, and I was like, I might not be able to run. And I said, you know what, let's get out there. Let's see how far we can go. And I ended up running further than I ever have, faster than I ever have. And the entire time I was running, instead of me telling myself that I can't do this, I need to stop, I just told myself that this is easy. I committed to this, so I will see this through. It's not, like, there's no option to stop. It's like, I'm going to be the best version of myself that I can in this moment. And because of that, not once was I like, okay, this sucks. Oh, this is too hard. Oh, this is anything. I just kept moving and moving and moving and moving. And it felt so good when I finished to be able to say that even though I didn't think I was even going to be able to make it a mile into this thing, I ran 13 miles faster than I ever have. My legs feel good. And it was just that voice in my head coming back that was telling me, oh, maybe you should take it easy. Maybe you should stop. Maybe you shouldn't push yourself today. And I made what was a small tweak or injury, whatever the hell you want to call it, into this big deal that made me feel like I was not going to be able to perform. And like I said, in the past, that has eaten me alive. I've gotten out there and that's all I could think about. I couldn't think about how to perform. I was just thinking about how to survive. And that's the thing. When you stop playing to not lose or to not embarrass yourself, and you start playing to win, to see how good you can be, it's a whole different ballgame. Because now you're able to put all of your attention on you becoming the version of yourself that you set out to be, whether that's on a run, whether that's on a sales call, whether that's talking to a girl or a dream partner, or whatever the hell it is. Whenever you stop playing not to lose and you stop being embarrassed about what other people think of you, about what you're going to think of yourself if you don't make it through, about how much work you put into something, and if you fail, then everything's over and all this stuff. And you just go out there and you say, let me be the best I can be in this very moment. And this very thing that I'm doing at this small point in time during this journey, no matter how long it is, you turn into just like a different person. And it's so addictive. Whenever you go out there and you bet on yourself and you keep going, you keep going, you keep going, and you don't let that voice stop you. I think it's Layla Hamosi who says that fear is a mile wide and an inch deep, but you don't know that until you take your first step. That's the thing. Like, I used to not take that step. I would stare at it and I would strategize and it'd be like, how can I get around this pond? How can I say I'm doing this thing, but do it in the safest way possible so that A, if something fails, I'm not in a bad position, and B, like, if it fails, how can I put the blame on somebody else so I don't think like, oh, I'm not worth it, or other people don't think that I'm good enough. And the thing that used to eat me alive about it is I was lying to other people about how much effort I was putting into something, about why something wasn't succeeding, because I didn't want to tell them that it was my own mind stopping me. And then people would say, "Oh, you work so hard," or "Oh, you're so dialed in," and different things like that. And it would eat me alive because I knew I wasn't. And that's the thing. I knew that I was letting myself off easy. I knew that I wasn't performing to the ability that I knew that I could. And that would eat me alive every single time because it was like you were getting an award that you didn't earn. You were getting praised for something that you didn't do. And you had to sit there and be like, "Oh, no, I'm not that." But, and then people would just keep saying, "Yes, you are. Yes, you are." But they, to the outside, it may look like you're committed. But you know that you aren't trying your absolute hardest to become the person that you want to be. And that's not only unfair to you, it's unfair to the people who look up to you. It's unfair to the people who you're supposed to help. It's unfair to the people that you inspire because you are not making the impact that you know you should. And it stops them from striving to do the things that they want to in their life. I remember I would always tell people, "Oh, you should start this business." And then I would start a business and I wouldn't go all in on it. And then I'd make all these excuses. And then I'd go to somebody else and be like, "You should start a business." But they're like, "You're making it look really hard and you try really hard." And I'd be like, it's really not. But like, I knew I wasn't trying hard enough. And that deterred other people from even trying because they looked at me and said, "Oh, well, if he's struggling, I'm going to struggle way worse than that." But that's not the case. It was just, I was not trying hard enough. That's the thing. Like, it's like you can trick the outside world as much as you want, but your internal always knows what's going on. Your subconscious understands everything that you do. It looks at every decision you make, every belief that you decide to hold on to, and it knows all the things that are going on within your head. And so, to the outside world, again, you can look a certain way, but if your internal isn't in alignment with the external that people perceive, that's what creates those depressive thoughts. That was the thing that first kicked me off into a depressive spiral like 3 years ago because everyone would tell me how hard I was working, how good I was at whatever the hell I was doing. But I knew that I wasn't trying hard enough. I knew that I was not pushing myself enough. And that hurts because you're supposed to inspire people. That's why you were put on this earth. You know that. That's why you're watching this video. You know that you were put on this earth to be able to serve, to be able to make an impact. Each and every single one of us were. Each and every single one of us were put on this earth to make an impact. And you cheat not only yourself, but everybody else whenever you decide not to make that impact. And everything is a decision. I don't care what the circumstances is. Literally everything is a decision that you decide to make. And so when you sleep in, when you tell yourself you're going to wake up, if you skip that workout because you feel a little tired, if you don't try hard enough whenever you're out running, if you don't pick up the phone and dial whenever you're working, if you don't help the patient or do whatever the hell you do to the best of your business ability, every time you cheat that other person from being able to make that impact on someone else, from being inspired by you, because you're an inspirational person. You have been through so many different things. And like, I was at the airport yesterday and I was just looking around and it was so interesting just seeing all these loved ones hugging each other, saying goodbye. And it's just like all of these people have history. And in that history, they can inspire somebody with what they do, with who they are as a person if they get out of their own way. And I don't know what their background, I don't know any of that, but I do know that a lot of people let fear stop them from picking up the phone, pressing record, from reaching out, from starting that thing, from trying that new challenge or whatever the hell it is. But every time you do that, you cheat not only yourself, but the people around you. And you can't lie and say that you're giving it your all because you know. And if you know that you're not trying as hard as you can, no matter how many praises you get from other people, you will eventually start to tear it down because you know that that's when imposter syndrome comes in because you don't feel like you deserve it. But the thing is, you are just so much greater than you give yourself credit for. And until you learn how to fully commit to becoming the best version of you, you will never fully be satisfied with the life that you currently have, because as humans, we all have that little voice in our heads that tell us what we can do and who we're supposed to be. But it's up to us to be able to listen to that voice and decide to fully commit to becoming that person. And every day you have to make that decision to become that version, to bet on you, to see it through. And when I was on my run today, I finished it and I had a little bit to walk back, and that was all that was on my mind. I was thinking about the areas in my life that I've been slacking and the impact that I know that I want to make, and how I've been doing just okay, but I know that I can be a lot better. And I'm going to be, because I started this journey, not necessarily the running, but like posting content and different things like that for me to make an impact. And I feel like as of recently, I've been making content as a chore or a job. And it's just like, okay, well, what can I get up instead of how can I make the biggest impact? And that's what I want these to be. I want to be able to make videos that help people not limit themselves any longer, because there's so many times, and I've just recently started reading the Bible a lot more, so it's on the top of my head, but there's been so many times I highlight every time I see it. Every time I see it, it says, don't fear, have faith. Why do you have, like, you are saved in direct correlation to your faith. Like, there's so many times where it says that. And so as long as you have faith and you allow yourself to fully commit to achieving the thing that you want to achieve, whatever that thing is in the back of your head, it is literally, I say your birth. Like, I always tell people, like, success is your birthright if you continuously commit and pursue the thing that you're trying to achieve. But the thing is, a lot of people either don't fully commit to something because they have a little time ticker in the back of their head, or like they have this unspoken amount of effort that they're willing to put into something before they say it's not meant for them. And that's the thing that you have to get rid of. That's the thing that I have to get rid of, because it comes back, and I've done it multiple times, but it comes back because it's a decision that you have to make every day to become the version of you that you want to become, to step into that person that can make the impact that you know you want to make. It's all a decision. And that's it. But yeah, I just finished my long run. In terms for the marathon, I'm out here in Arizona. Like I said, I came out here to help my mom, but also because the race that I'll be running in Tennessee, it has a lot of hills, and so this is a great place for me to train. Just being able to run up and down, because she lives out in the mountains here, so able to run up and down the mountains and get the feel of hills on your legs, especially when you're gassed, especially when you're tired, and just getting yourself to push through. It's a little bit hotter out here too, so like my body's now expending a little bit more energy like as I run around, and it's getting me more prepared for race day. So that's how it is, and I'm happy. This is a good week of training. Even with the little injuries and things like that, I feel like every day I showed up, and that's the biggest thing. Just showing up, putting in the work, and becoming the person that you want to become, because that's what shifts the standard. That's what shifts the standard. That's what shifts you into the person that you want to become. So yeah, that's the video for today. Again, I always say that I'm not trying to do like these motivational things, but like whenever you finish fully committing to something, or like doing something that you said you were going to do, you just feel good. You feel alive. And so this is the video that was on top of my head today. And I thought this would be more impactful than me just talking about how I ran this week, or like the lifts I did, or anything along those lines. So I appreciate you. Remember, you're greater than even you could possibly imagine. You just have to give yourself permission to fully commit to being who you were meant to be. All right, peace.